This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on Union Cabinet decisions. The participants are K.G. Suresh, political analyst, and Dhawan, anchor.
Hello and welcome to our program. Today we will be having a conversation with senior journalist Professor K.G. Suresh, and we will be talking about some of the cabinet decisions that were taken. Professor Suresh, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Beginning with the MSP for 6 Rabi crops for the marketing season 24-25, and the government has approved MSP for these crops. So when we talk of, I think, in terms of how we see farmers, how we see the government's deep desire to ensure that their incomes are doubled as at the earliest, do you think that this step is a step which is in congruence with that decision?
Well, I look at all the cabinet decisions taken today as perhaps the best festival gift, whether it be employees, whether it is farmers, or whether it would be the people of Ladakh. For the farmers, this is the festive season for across the country. And perhaps this is something which has been much awaited. The government has been, looking at diversification of crops so that this dependence on the staple, that is, and particularly on imports of staple is reduced to the maximum. And the government is also looking for strengthening the food security in the country. So diversification, and also, of course, I would say that, promoting millets or mota anaj, as they say, something that is that even the health experts say is good for the health at a time when we are talking about gluten-free food and, a lot of stuff. So from every respect, I think that it's very important that we strengthen our farmers, and the government over the years has been taking a lot of initiatives, whether it is with regard to soil testing, whether it is regard to the, Kisan credit scheme. The whole idea is to empower the farmers. When we are looking at a target, what the Prime Minister had said of becoming the world's third largest economy, it cannot be linked to industrial growth alone, because agriculture continues to be our mainstay for a large segment of our population, and we have to feed the largest population in the world. And of course, we are exporting also to the rest of the world. Mammoth task, and to encourage productivity, to enhance growth. This was a much awaited step, and I'm sure the farmers are going to immensely benefit from this announcement today.
Professor Suresh, we also see that, in this lot, other than millets, which is, as you said, mota anaj, there is oil seeds and pulses also. And these are two things which are, actually traditionally always been more expensive in the market. So somewhere when you talk of diversification, this would also have maybe in a couple of years and in the midterm kind of a flattening effect on the prices?
Yes, absolutely. And because this would encourage more and more farmers to diversify their crops, and there would be abundance of, right now there is a disproportionate kind of abundance of certain crops and paucity of certain crops. So I think that this would, and there is a national oil seeds mission also, which is in place. So the whole idea is that kind of a holistic growth of our food basket, instead of being dependent on any particular crop. The whole idea is that, and of course, the food habits differ across the country of our size and dimension. The food habits differ. So I think that from all perspectives, the whole idea is to ensure that, while the farmers are encouraged, the prices too remain under control. If the farmer gets a good remuneration for his produce, because at the end of the day, when we look at strengthening the rural economy, it's very important that the farmer becomes less indebted, because rural debt is a matter of concern. And you have, all kinds of support systems which are being extended to the farmers. Imagine the kind of plight we saw a few years back, whether it is in Bundelkhand or in Vidarbh. You had farmer suicides, and these instances are coming down because of this constant effort for strengthening irrigation, strengthening the credit system. That I think that so in the backdrop of these, certainly today's decisions are a welcome move.
Also, Professor Suresh, wanting to do a little zoom out on the agriculture sector. Of course, MSPs, and this is actually the final step where remuneration comes into the farmer's account. But before that, support with subsidies on fertilizers, ensuring less dependence on rainfall, and better irrigation facilities, more irrigation in terms of wells, tube wells, a better canal system. So all that is
Absolutely.
happening simultaneously.
Even prediction, for regarding weather patterns, because of the global warming and climate change, you see a lot of vulnerability of the farmers, because of the changing weather pattern. So you have the support system in place, which is today enabling farmers to get an idea about what kind of weather they can expect. And accordingly, they can go for the production of crops. That is something that the help of science and technology to boost agriculture. The whole idea is to ensure that, the farmers are able to get access to technology through digital applications, mobile applications. Science and technology are being harnessed to ensure that, the most accurate and scientific, whether it is regarding weather, whether it is regarding irrigation, whether it is regarding the crops, they are given to, so improved kind of seeds, improved technology, they are being provided to. There is an effort. Of course, there are many areas which still require more strengthening, but there is a serious effort on the part of government agencies across the country to extend that support to the farmer.
Coming now to the hiking of the DNS allowance by 4 percentage points, and you were earlier talking about a Diwali gift, and this is of course for central government employees. So expected, or I think even if it was expected, it's always a pleasure for this news to come out, right?
Well, this is as per the recommendations also, but the fact that, it is certainly bound to whatever inflationary tendencies that you see. So that would certainly be, this would offset that inflation and the burden on the people to a great extent, particularly the central government employees and the pensioners. To a great extent, there are about 50 lakh employees across the country. And I think for them, this DA hike is something that they would certainly welcome in a festive season when expenses are going to go up like anything. So I think that this would be celebration time, particularly for central government employees. I hope the other state governments to implement them so that they also benefit.
And festive time, Professor Suresh, is something that more than people who are spending, the people who are producing and looking for consumers to actually boost their sales, it's a great time for them too. So a boost for them too.
Absolutely.
Right.
I said more income in the pocket is always a bonus.
Right, and giving a boost to the economy. Because whatever you say, I think sales,
Absolutely.
And those are the figures actually finally count, right? Coming now, Professor Suresh, to the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, and they have actually approved a project on Green Energy Corridor GEC Phase 2 Interstate Transmission System for 13 gigawatts of renewable energy project in Ladakh. So in the north, winter is coming in, and green energy coming their way?
Well, green energy is a commitment that the government has made at multilateral forums, at global forums. India has taken the initiative, whether it is for the solar energy, the Global Solar Alliance. Prime Minister Modi himself has taken the initiative to promote, perhaps India is among the few countries which are, in terms of per capita, going for maximum investment in non-conventional energy. That respect, this project is going to be a milestone. And more than that, I believe that in the very sensitive border region of Ladakh, and this is going to benefit, there is going to be connectivity to Kashmir also, I think. And as you rightly mentioned, again, it's going to be linked to the northern grid. In Haryana, it's going to be connected. So I think that it takes, and also Himachal Pradesh. So I think that this is going to benefit the northern grid in a big way and strengthen the power supply. And let us remember that, there is a massive initiative on for development, the Union Territory of Ladakh and in Kashmir. This uninterrupted supply of power, this availability of power is certainly going to benefit the local population in terms of industrialization, in terms of And of course, the basic services remain uninterrupted. So I think that it's going to be a big boost to the local economy also. And certainly green energy initiatives are welcome, always welcome, particularly when we see that over dependence on the conventional energy sources.
Right.
So this is a very welcome initiative taken by the government.
And keeping in mind their complex terrain and climatic conditions are definitely difficult. You'd mentioned border areas. And there's also to understand that it's ambitious because there are migration costs. How do you move from, traditional energy sources to green energy sources? There are implementation costs. So it's an ambitious project and yes, definitely serving us in the long run. And do you think that the target that we've set for ourselves, we should be able to meet them in terms of green energy?
Well, I think that, a lot of initiatives are being, as I told you, that whether it is solar power, whether it is wind power. I mean, like I'm from Madhya Pradesh and there's a huge solar power plant which was inaugurated by the Prime Minister in Rewa. I mean, there is a continued, it's perhaps the largest of its kind in the whole, I think that in the entire region, South Asian region, the largest solar park of its kind. Similar initiatives are being, whether it is wind energy, solar energy, and even using the power of the oceanic, tidal waves. A lot of efforts are being made. And I'm sure that, this over dependence on thermal, there would be a balance, which is at the end of the day, the long-term objective of maintaining a balance. And because our natural resources are certainly getting depleted and we need to make alternative arrangements. There is a lot of search going on for energy sources. Search is happening in a big way. So I'm sure that, we are moving fast towards our objectives, and given the speed at which projects are being taken up, I'm sure that our objectives would be achieved.
This is a sunrise sector, Professor Suresh. And over here, what do you think about the scope for new young entrepreneurs to come? Because, one is skilling India, of course, but Make in India and an entrepreneurial India. We're a young country.
Absolutely. Startup India, Stand Up India, Mudra Yojana. I mean, this entire focus of this government has been on Swavalambi Bharat, or self-reliant India, where, we are looking at not just employment opportunities, because we have the largest demographic profile in our favor. Population, the youth population, we have the largest youth population. And they should not be just looking at employment opportunities. Rather, they should ensure that they should be able to provide employment. That is the whole idea. So you have Skill India and a lot of stuff to enhance employability and also at the same time promote entrepreneurship. Which is very important. There are entrepreneurship development institutions which are there, which are promoting the spirit of entrepreneurship among youth. And there are a lot of initiatives, seed money, support being given. And I'm sure that the younger generation is also now no more employment oriented. So to say, they are looking at viable options at entrepreneurship, and market is opening up. Hitherto, areas which were hitherto totally dependent on imports are being replaced by production. India is no more just a service-oriented economy. We are looking at manufacturing in a big way. A lot of stuff from aircraft to silicon chips are being, manufactured in India. So that is giving opportunity to a lot of ancillary industries. And I'm sure that, I see a lot of youngsters who keep coming and meeting me also for promoting solar projects in different states, in different institutions.
Right. I think this wonderful scenario of independence and interdependence, and thank you for painting that for us, Professor K.G. Suresh. The most brilliant part about young people is their ability to take risks. And I think entrepreneurial ventures are definitely the way for them to go. Thank you so much, Professor Suresh, for coming onto our program.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on Union Cabinet decisions. The participants were K.G. Suresh, political analyst, and Dhawan Lal, anchor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsttalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 928 909 4044.